dobry wszystkim ponownie. Teraz mamy przyjemność rozmowy z Ajayem, który jest autorem tej pięknej książki Platform Engineering. Gruba, ładna, świeżutka. Polecam gorąco. Ajay, thank you very much for your time. And really, as an organizer, I cannot express my gratitude that you came to us again, because we met 2 years ago?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago in Krakow, DevOpsDays Krakow, and you were really the brightest star there. And you are here as well. So again, thank you for joining us. And from your perspective, right, because you are based in US, and of course, I know that the picture will not be full, right? Because you are not here.
Yeah.
But how do you see any differences in the approach to DevOps, SRE, platform engineering, right? 3 buzzwords in your part, in your place, and for example here in Poland or broadly in Europe.
That's a great question, Pavel. One of the reasons I come for these kinds of conferences is to really learn more about it. How is the rest of the world looking at the whole problem domain? So the not so surprising part of it is that the problems are exactly the same wherever you go, right? But how we approach the solutions are sometimes different. So the understanding of platform engineering as a whole, it shouldn't come as a surprise, because pretty much all the Polish companies work for global clients. So the awareness of platform engineering is fairly high here compared to some of the conferences I even attend in the US, right? So that from that point of view, it is really heartwarming to see that. The challenges are also very similar, as I said, but the problem with that is sometimes I feel like the Polish engineers don't feel empowered to be able to go in and make the right kind of changes.
That's a great observation, honestly speaking. Yes, I'm also laughing very often that you shouldn't, when you have the meeting with Polish engineers, you shouldn't ask them if they have any questions, because they will not have. Okay, we know everything. We don't have any questions. Then it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, that's true. And very often I have a couple of theories that I don't think that you have 2 hours for listening to my babbling about that. But I think that's a big and probably the biggest problem, really, because I'm not saying that there are no smart people anywhere else, right? But we have enough smart people to speak up and do things as they see, right? And this is something what I really love in the for us West culture, right? So that they speak up much easier. And also from the perspective of writing this book, so I will come to the book itself in the next question, but very often what we see, and this will be a tricky question, very often what we see, is, especially when we watch video casts or videos or read the books, all those things are very often about the most beautiful, shiny world, right? And then the reality is that we are sitting in the mud in the rainy day or night even, and it doesn't apply at all, right?
Exactly.
So what will be your advice for people who, from one side, they have heads full of theories, which are in the books, because you read this, it's not your experience, right? And then they go to the job and they see it's not that beautiful. So how would you help them to, I think, to really enable what they read?
Great question. Like you said, it's a tricky question, right? But just to put things in perspective, you've been an author yourself too, so you know how some of these things work. So it took us literally 24 months from the moment we signed the contract to get this published and in print. There is a reason for it. The reason for that is that there are 4 authors. I'm the primary author, but we have 3 really super competent, really good authors with me. we had some really serious discussions around how we might want to do this. Collectively, we have about 100 years of experience in the DevOps space, for others. So you know what happens when you have too many people with lots of opinions.
Oh, definitely, yes. Yeah. There were 4 of us and 5 opinions, right?
Yeah, 5 opinions, right? So what we ended up doing was that we actually took a fictional company. We have named that Epitech, like effective platform engineering tech, Epitech. If you go and check epitech.io, you can actually find the company's information.
I'll do it.
So what we have done is that we based that fictional company based on some actual experiences that we have seen on the ground. And these are not the greatest experiences. These are suboptimal experiences that you have had. So what we are trying to do is how would that company or how would any of the readers, parent companies or the clients that they are supporting, how would they actually face these problems and how would they actually solve the problems? So that's the approach that we have taken from end to end. So every chapter, every exercise is all based on the exact things that we have seen. So that's the practicality of it. But having said that, there's another nuance to it. If you look at how we have actually come up with a solution for doing certain things, your readers might actually look at it and say, I don't know, I don't think I can implement that solution. It might have worked for somebody else, not going to work for us. This is like SRE, right? And Google does SRE one way, everybody else does SRE in their own ways, right? So similarly, people might have that perspective. So for that part, what we have done is we have actually come up with lots of models and principles and actual patterns that really work. That is from our experience of doing this for 100 years, right? So if you marry that and put it on top of the solutions approach that we have put together, it becomes far more easier for the readers to use their brains, innovate on top of it, and do it. And one thing that I'm sure you have done the same thing, right? One of the things that when you wrote your book is that we have a companion code, right? There's a huge companion code, a repository here. We would encourage all the readers, even if you're not like super technical, you should still be able to use this companion code. Go ahead and download that, use that, and send us PRs by extending it if you want to, because there is significant value in being able to do that. So if somebody were to actually go in and clone the repo that we have on the GitHub, they can literally build an end-to-end engineering platform with that. So I think so 3 aspects, right? One is that practicality of how to do it. Second one is like real problems from the clients. Third one is those patterns and models that can help you bridge the gap between all of those.
Yeah, that's perfect answer, honestly. And what you said triggered my mind into something what I said multiple times in years, that if you want to implement Spotify model in Agile, you are free to do it at Spotify.
Yeah.
Because in your company, it will be not the Spotify model, right? So definitely giving to the readers the foundation on which they can build their own buildings. That's the solution.
Absolutely. That is exactly the solution.
So what was the most exciting and most annoying about writing the book?
I'll start with the not so pleasant experience. So the main thing was that Manning has a very rigorous process, and I'm sure every publisher has some process, right? Manning has a very rigorous process. We had to go through like early access program with about 15 to 20 reviewers every time. And when you put 15 to 20 very informed and really very curious platform engineers or architects, those are the people who are actually reviewing it, you're going to have like 40 different opinions around it.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah, and then what happened is that Manning actually rates their reviews and say like, how much score are you getting? So this was like back to being high school, right? We are being graded again. So that was a phenomenally annoying experience where we would get graded. It's because in most cases we would actually get 4 or a 5 because we believe we have something new to offer. But there would always be 1 or 2 reviewers who were like, no, this is not what I want. I want something else, completely change it kind of thing. So that was very annoying, but it also taught us a lot about how to write a book like this, right? Because one thing that we all need to be doing whenever you're writing book or doing anything at work is be humble as possible, right? Because this is such a humbling experience to write a book, right? So that's one experience. The good experience about it was that I set up this whole idea of platform engineering at ThoughtWorks. And most of our listeners probably know about ThoughtWorks, right? A lot of the ideas came out.
They should, or they should just came out from the beyond the stone, right?
Yeah. So prior to me starting the platform engineering team and in the practice there, we used to call it with a digital platform strategy, various things. So I sort of standardized that. I had the privilege of standardizing it because there are a lot of very, very smart thought workers around us, if all of us know. So the reason I actually have, we have 4 authors here is that all 3 of them, other than me, were all part of my team at ThoughtWorks. So I use this as an opportunity to create that culture of having that team-based approach, even at places like ThoughtWorks, which is very, very independent in their thinking. Even if you put 10 thought workers into a room, you're going to get 100 opinions, right? They're very, very opinionated people. So I feel immensely proud that I was able to bring these 4 really, really, or 3 very smart people and me into a room and then go through the process over a period of 2 years and really get something out, and I'm super proud of it. And probably I would say this is one of the proudest things I have in my whole career.
I believe so, and really it's the, I would say, the token of your management, really, because normally if someone is not happy with working with us, why they will spend time doing something completely out of the work. So really congratulations on that. And I'm looking forward to read this book. For sure we will do the review in our podcast with Rafał. So we will invite you again.
Thank you.
Rafał is known from asking hard questions, so we'll see
looking forward to it,
how it will go. And now it will be hard because we have to write something together. Now you don't have choice. Okay, Ajay, thank you very much for your time and enjoy the rest of the DevOps days. And really, I'm really, really happy that you came to us again and hopefully not the last time.
Absolutely not, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much.